You know, listening to the music in the intro made me realize, like, this is one of the games that I was most excited for in, like, a long time. And also, I just noticed the copyright keeps getting extended every new year, apparently. Also, I took a look at my old save files. This is, like, all I've played. I put, like, a little over 2.5 hours into playing Ophelia. And this was November of the year that I started streaming, 2018. And the main reason I never went back to it is because I wanted to stream it. It's funny how that works. Now, we're gonna try our damnedest to play through this in order, as in we go through every single person, starting with Ophelia, and then move down the names. We're gonna start with Ophelia from the very beginning. Gotta say, the music is so loud. I turned it down. I might have to turn it down one more notch.
Come in. May the sacred flame light your path on this fine day. And may it ever shine its warmth upon you. How many times have we said those words? And yet, they seem to take on a whole new meaning now. Each day is one day closer to my departure. Perhaps I'm more nervous than I thought I was. Liana? You needn't worry about me. I was born to make the pilgrimage. My father did the same 20 years ago. As his daughter, I cannot let him down. You really are incredible, Liana. I don't know how you do it. What? As the Archbishop's only true-born daughter, everyone always expects so much from you. And yet you never fail them. Each of your sermons is more inspiring than the last. And now, the pilgrimage. So much is placed on you alone. Don't be silly. I'm not alone. I have you, don't I? And everyone at the cathedral. Why, you're the one who helped me think of a topic for that last sermon, Ophelia. You even stayed up nights with me to draft it. A willing set of ears and a few pretty words, that's all I could offer you. I wish I could do something that would truly help you. Oh, abandon such worries and come, my sister. Father is expecting us in the chapel.
We are now in control. The radar. Use the radar on the bottom right to check the area and find your heading. Continue the story here. Side story starting point, save point, hidden item. Side story. Sprint. Gotta say, I really like the blend between 3D and 2D stuff that this game does. In the beginning, the 13 gods created the land. They shaped the mountains, filled the seas, it gave life to mighty trees and myriad beasts, and then they created men, who would become masters of the land. Yet one god, Galdera, was too greedy to part with his creations. And so, the 12 deities of good were forced into a desperate struggle with the cruel Galdera, lord of the most infernal magics. In the end, the conflict was brought to a close by Alfric, the Flamebringer, lord of all that is holy. Aelfric called the astral fire down upon Galdera, sapping his strength, and sealed him away in the afterworld. A divine flame to chase the shadows. This is the sacred flame that shines down on the land of Ostera, bringing warmth and guidance to its people.
There you are, my girls.
Your Excellency, may the sacred flame ever light your path. Have you need of us here, Father?
I wish to see you, that is all. Do carry on with your duties.
As you wish, Your Excellency.
It is as if the two of you have become women grown in but the blink of an eye. How long has it been, Ophelia, since you came to us?
15 years, Your Excellency, or near enough so.
15 years. I suppose it is little wonder that you have grown so.
I was but an orphan, Your Excellency, starving and sickly. I would not have lived to see this day if you had not taken me in. I may not have said it enough growing up, but my heart is full of gratitude for all that you have given me.
No need for such words, my child. We all follow the path the flame illuminates for us.
Come on, Feely. We're family. You, Father, and I. There's no need to be so formal about it.
Feely.
Why should you have to thank us for being with you? That's what family's for.
Kinda funny.
Of course. You're right, Liana.
Nice coincidence. Considering it's the same English voice actor as Puck in the dub of ReZero.
And besides, Father may be a great archbishop in here, but we both know he's just an old layabout at home.
It
Isn't
sounds
that
like the
right,
same person.
Father?
An old layabout? Oh, you wound me, Liana.
I know your duties at the cathedral keep you busy, Father, but honestly, you're no help at all when it comes to keeping a household running. Would it kill you to cook a meal or dust the bookshelves from time to time?
Yes.
Oh my. When you put it that way, I suppose I am quite useless after all.
So even the great and beloved Archbishop falls short in the discerning eye of his daughter.
So it would seem, Ophelia. So it would seem. Now, tell me, Liana. Are you prepared for your journey to the Cave of Origin?
But of course, Father. I am ready.
In the deepest recess of that cave is where you will find the first flame. You will take the ember to the churches across the realm, where it will serve to light the sacred fires that warm and protect all the lands. This is the kindling, the time-honored rite held without fail once every 20 years since the days of old. Your journey will not be an easy one. As soon as you step foot into the wilderness, you will be met with lawless villains and savage beasts. Yes, many a servant of the church has made this journey throughout our history. Some have never returned. But I know you can do this, my daughter. Everyone has put their faith in you.
You have my word, Father. I won't let anyone down. I will carry out the rite, just as you did 20 years before.
Very good, my child. Very good.
Cough.
Father? Are you all right, Your Excellency?
It's nothing to worry yourselves over. Just my years announcing their advance.
Oh, you mustn't sound so gloomy, Your Excellency. There is still so much we would learn from you before we let you call yourself Archbishop Emeritus. Ophelia is right, Father. Like she always is. You should retire for the day and let your body recuperate. We can handle things from here. We will let the Pontiff know that you are resting in your chambers, sir.
When my two girls insist, who is this old man to deny them? I will leave the preparations for today's service to you.
We will take care of everything, Your Excellency. I'll see Father back to his chambers. Thank you, Liana. I will see to our duties here. Well then.
I suppose I'd best start preparing for the next service at once. Oh my, what is a child doing here all alone? What's the matter, child? It's my mama. She's gone. I can't find her anywhere. Come back, Mama. Don't leave me here all alone.
Won't you come with me?
Hell no. Let's dry those tears. While I help you look for your mother. Sniffle. Can you really find her?
Of course.
My child, the sacred flame will show us the way. Though I should be preparing for the service. No. I simply cannot abandon this poor boy. If I hurry, I should still be able to finish everything in time. Utilize each character's unique action to overcome any obstacle. Ophelia can guide townspeople, and they will follow wherever she goes. I will guide you. Let the flame guide your path. Really? You'll help me find her?
Good day.
The holy blue fire of Alfric protects us, and leads us through the darkness. There are rumors, however, of heretics who worship the black flame of evil.
Good day.
Is he like a white
Good
mage?
day.
Nah, he doesn't have the red. It's not a true white mage.
Well,
We in the Church of the Sacred Flame worship the god Aelfric. We also revere the Sacred Flame, the enduring symbol of his holiness.
well,
One line of dialogue per NPC, it looks like. Also, not every NPC is dialogue. Interesting.
hello.
Many worshippers come to this cathedral to receive the guidance of the Sacred Flame.
Hello.
Let's bail.
How'd you do?
Welcome to the Great Cathedral of Flames Grace. Are you here for the church service?
How'd you do?
Is that Steve Blum?
Grand!
The sheer splendor of the cathedral always takes my breath away.
Grand!
Mother! Young man!
There you are.
Oh,
Sister Ophelia, how can I thank you for taking care of this little troublemaker of mine? And you, how many times must I tell you not to wander off on your own?
Actually,
Pray do not scold the poor boy. He was so brave and good this whole time.
thank you so much.
You are too kind, Sister Ophelia. I know how busy you are with your duties at the chapel. Thank you for helping me despite that. It is no wonder that the Archbishop is so proud of his 2 daughters. 2 daughters? Surely you must know that he is forever boasting of you and Sister Liana both.
truly?
He does?
But of course.
Almost every time I speak to him. Come along now. Thank Sister Ophelia, then it's back home with you.
Thank you.
Sister Ophelia. It was my pleasure, child. But do not stray. But do try to stay with your mother in the future, yes? Bye-bye.
I see.
Excellency. I will do all I can to be the daughter you would want me to be.
If I might.
Have a moment, sister. Who are you?
Of course.
Yes. Might I be of some service, my good sir? Do you know where I might find His Excellency the Archbishop? May I ask who's looking for him?
Ah.
May forgive my lack of manners. My name is Matthias, a trader with the Lionel Consortium. The Archbishop has generously deigned to engage in a transaction of sorts with us.
Well then,
A trader? I see. It's an honor to meet you, sir. I am Sister Ophelia.
Oh!
Oh, so you are Sister Ophelia. I've heard so much about you. When the Archbishop contacted me to request my services, he spoke much of his 2 daughters. I also heard that Sister Liana will be the next flame bearer. Rem is blessed to have such loyal servants. It is, as a matter of fact, to equip your sister for her forthcoming journey that the Archbishop has summoned me here today. Is that so? We are much obliged for your support.
No.
Think nothing of it, good sister. It is a duty of the faithful to serve the Church, as the Church so tirelessly serves us.
No.
Sister Ophelia, you must come at once. What's going on? Whatever is the matter?
It's a disaster!
Oh, Sister Ophelia, it's the Archbishop. His Excellency has collapsed.
but how could...
What? I'll come at once. Master Matthias, forgive me for abandoning you when you have journeyed so far, but
No.
do not spare a moment's thought for me, sister. Pray, go to the Archbishop's side at once.
Forgive me.
I thank you for your understanding, sir. Please excuse me. Guess I'll come back later.
Your Excellency! Ophelia, please! Please, take a moment to breathe. Forgive me, Liana, but His Excellency...
What His Excellency needs most now is rest. Please try not to excite him.
Of course. Forgive me.
Anna?
Yes, Father?
The pilgrimage. The sacred flame.
Do not worry yourself, Father. I will perform the rite without fail, just as you taught me.
That is going to here.
Father? Father!
Worry not, Sister Liana. He is only resting.
It's the long kind of rest, or the short kind of rest.
Liana,
Sister Liana, are you not well?
I'm fine. I think I just need some fresh air. Liana. I know she is trying to act strong before the others. But I worry for her. I should be by her side at a time like this.
How are you doing, Daddy? Nah. He's out. Guide. Skills Ice Storm. Summonable 9. What does summonable mean? Flame guide your path. Sister Ophelia, I'm honored that you would provide me with your divine guidance. I do recall. The allies do actually help you in battle. That's what the strength is for. Let's see. Anybody have different dialogue?
Hello. Good day.
You must be level 15 or higher to guide this person. Okay. Got it. So, depending on how strong they are, you have to be a certain level in order to actually use them.
How'd you do? How'd you do?
Level 20. Might as well look and see what people I can guide. Townsperson.
Yes.
Saw that a cathedral is the city center. Here the tavern there has the best meat around. Open. Oh, found the prison. I gotta say, I really like the style. But one thing I could say is that they could really have turned the bloom down a little bit. To be completely honest. Let's see, actually, I should be able to make it darker. Pretty sure there's an options menu for it. Settings. Like, this brightness That's exactly where it is for me. I don't know how bright it is for... Like, if I look at my monitor here that has the playback of it, I can still see it. I have to turn it all the way to the left to not see it. But let's, it's... Did I set it right? Okay. Let's see if that makes things any better. Oh, this place has hard save points. Welcome to 2021, Octopath Traveler. Yeah. If you continue north, you'll come across the cathedral. You may think it's cold now, but this is a warm spring zephyr compared to the town of Northreach. You want to know why I'm hiding here? Sorry, that's a secret. Skills, Wisdom of the Church. Huh?
Greetings.
Up ahead lies the Cave of Origin, the holy ground containing the first flame. Look at those sparklies over there in the corner. I don't think this is where I should be going at the moment. Seriously, this game just looks so good and the music is great. Tavern Patron.
Hail.
A magnificent cathedral, no? It's the main temple for the Order of the Sacred Flame. Hmm?
Liana, how are you feeling? Ophelia? Liana? What am I to do, Ophelia? Father! My father is... Liana... Thinking about what might happen makes me feel so scared, so angry that I feel like my heart might just burst. But if I fall to pieces now, everyone will lose hope. I must be strong. And soon, I must depart on the pilgrimage. The rite cannot be put off any longer. There are centuries of tradition we must obey. But leaving my father behind, without even knowing if I'll ever see him again. Don't despair, Liana. We are together in this. We will find a way. Ophelia.
It has been 15 years since His Excellency took me in. My family lost in the war. I was left with nothing, and no one to care for me.
Now then.
Do not despair, Ophelia. From today, we are your family. This is Liana, my daughter, your new sister.
Hey.
My name's Liana, but you can call me Anna if you'd like.
Huh?
What's the matter with her?
Oh.
Liana, I'm afraid that Ophelia has gone through something very sad. So let us see that she is cheered once more. Together, in the light of the sacred flame, we will find happiness.
Yes.
Father, I'll be the best sister ever, Ophelia. My first days in the Archbishop's home. I got to my room and spoke to no one. It was she who brought me out of my shell. Liana, my best friend, my sister.
Hey, Feely! Don't you want to go outside? Oh, I know! There's someplace I just have to take you! What?
It's that cliffside, isn't it? Top of the hill.
This way! Up here! Where are we going? It's just a little further. Come on, we're nearly there. Here we are. What is this place? It's my favorite place in all the world. Maybe it could become your favorite place too. Hmm? It's beautiful. Isn't it though? That's why I love it here. Here, Feely. This is for you. So now, won't you play with me? Still no? Feely, are you crying? No, I'm not. I'm not crying. Good to hear it. We're going to be the best of sisters, Feely. I just know it. I'd like that too, Liana. Then it's settled. Oh, next time I'll teach you my favorite game, and then...
After I lost my family, I was convinced it was my fate to be alone and miserable for the rest of my days. But Liana brought me out from under that dark cloud and gave me the strength to start living again.
I'm sorry.
For running off like that. I'll return to my father's side and stay with him as long as I can.
Yes.
Pray do that, Liana. You will rest all the easier knowing you are with him. The Archbishop's illness weighs heavier on Liana than anyone else.
And yet...
You must hide that from all around her. Tomorrow she is to set out to gather the ember from the Cave of Origin.
In that case,
If I were to gather the Ember in her place, Yana could stay by her father's side. Of course, I cannot bear to leave him either. And if someone else were to gather the Ember, that same person would have to go on the pilgrimage and complete the rite. Say nothing of straying into that cave without the church's blessing. I'd get more than a stern lecture, that's for sure. As I recall, the Cave of Origin lies within the foothills to the east of here. Time to go. You never know when danger might strike, so be sure to save often. You can find save points in sounds, overworld areas, and dungeons. Exit the town and go east. Head for the Cave of Origin.
Hey.
Here gets quite cold here, so items that can keep you warm are a must. You can guide the merchant. Sleepweed. Blaze it. Let's see, armory. We have 2,500 gold. Elemental attack. So can we afford just cheap necessities? Okay. What exactly are her stats for what she's currently wearing? Speed 10 and critical 10. Ooh. I'll buy one of these. Critical 10 sounds fun. Oh, you can equip 2 accessories? Okay. I know speed 10 affects like your placement in battle, so being able to act at the start of a turn could be effective for everybody else. Look, they even have an optimize button.
A good day to you.
This is Flame's Grace, the very cradle of the Church of the Sacred Flame. I don't think this is where I should be going at the moment. Provisioner. Okay. I'll keep this guy because he's casting spells. Wondering what the red was on the map. Great. I'm guessing when you're sprinting, it might increase the chances of you getting into an encounter. Here we go, first encounter. Battle basics, breaking enemies. Exploit your foe's weaknesses to turn the tide of battle in your favor. Attack your foe's weak point. To lower their shield points, reduce shield points to 0 and break your foe. Ophelia can utilize both staves and light-based abilities in battle. Go to character skills and choose Holy Light to see it in action. Once you can use more weapons, select attack and choose which one you want to use with the directional buttons.
I'll not be defeated.
Okay, so we get boosts. Battle Basics 2. Boost Mode. Enter Boost Mode to augment your powers. Break your foes to drastically reduce their defense. Press the R button to enter Boost Mode and the potency of your attacks and abilities will surge. You gain 1 boost point, BP, per turn. You can spend up to 3 BP to boost your character 3 levels of power. If you use Boost Mode, you will not gain any BP on the following turn.
I'll not be defeated.
Yeah, it's a system similar to Bravely Default, at least in my opinion.
My turn now.
Whack.
I'll do my best. My turn now.
Okay. Summon a companion guiding into battle. Oh, so you can use their ability 9 times. Okay, so that's how it works. Got it.
Yeah. My turn now. Yeah. I'll do my best. Ah! I'll do my best. Ah!
There we go.
The flame guides us true.
Maybe we should get somebody who can heal. I believe somebody in the church had a healing ability. Or this person, maybe. Steel defenses. Flame guide your path. Oh, nice. Lovely to see you, sister. Yeah, I know, like, the first sections of all these games are just, segments with one party. So things can get a little, bad if you're unlucky.
There is no choice. I'll not be defeated. Yeah. Well then, there!
Whack.
I'll do my best. Ah! My turn now. Prepare yourself. Ah! Ah! Well then.
Alright, let's try this out. SP? That was supposed to restore health. Oh! They attack as well. Didn't realize that's how it works. Sweet. I got 600 money.
Flame, protect us! I'll not be defeated. Ha!
Oh no.
Ah! I'll do my best. Ah! My turn now.
Holy light.
Oh, sacred light! I'll not be defeated. Here I go! Oh, sacred light!
Damn.
The flame guides us true.
Alright. Essence of pomegranate.
There is no choice.
I was caught by surprise. No, I wasn't. I was totally prepared.
I'll do my best. No, you will not. I'll do my best. Ha! I will
And
not be defeated. Ah! Here I go!
maximum power, holy light.
Oh,
Kaboom.
sacred light. I hope I've grown more able.
I wonder how EXP goes up in this game. Like, as you battle like the same enemies, does it just like decrease the amount of EXP that you get?
Flame, protect us. My turn now. Ah! I'll do my best. Well then, yeah.
Let's see, are you weak to holy?
My here I go. Oh, sacred light.
No idea. He just killed him in one hit.
I am not made for such battles.
Right to the cave.
This is...
The Cave of Origin. This cave houses the first flame, fire that Aelfric himself brought down from the heavens. I must bring it back. Sister Ophelia, I'm certain you know this well, but I feel compelled to speak. This is a place of true danger. Please be sure that you are prepared before entering. Herb of Clarity.
Well, the fact is...
The Cave of Origin is a most sacred place, home to the first flame of Aelfric.
That's right.
Even those of the Church of the Flame may only enter to perform the kindling.
Safe travels.
The first flame must never be extinguished. Prayer. And repeated strike. Got a lantern.
I will battle.
Wolf.
I'll not be defeated. There! Well then. Ah! Oh, sacred light! The flame guides us true.
Okay, you get more money if you don't take damage, and you get more EXP if you beat an opponent while they're broken. Good to know. Oh no, battle.
Flame, protect us. I'll do my best. I'll... Ah! Oh, sacred light! I am not made for such battles.
Shadow Soulstone. Deals dark damage to all foes. Gives a single ally confusion. Yep. Yep. Simple enough. How do we break this? Oh, there we go. You had to, weasel your way around.
I will battle. I'll do my best. Ha! I'll do my... Ah! Oh, sacred light! I am not made for such battles.
Job points, JP. You can now learn new skills. Open the main menu to view new skills you can learn. I don't remember this from when I played it for like 2.5 hours. However many years, like, it was around 3 years ago-ish. So I get more physical defense by 1. I get 10 more SP, but I lose elemental attack and a little bit of elemental defense. Why not? Now, skills. Learn a variety of skills to gain the upper hand in battle. You can learn skills in any order you choose. You'll need increasingly more job points to learn skills, so choose carefully. So for 30 job points, I can get anything. I don't even know what this is. Let's see, revive incapacitated allies. Grant a single ally the ability to reflect 1 elemental attack. Store a large amount of HP to all allies. Deal light-based damage to all foes. Augment one ally's elemental defense for 2 turns. I like this, so I'm gonna get this. Wow, need 100 job points for the next one.
I will battle.
Ow, my ears.
Well then,
Whack.
I'll not. Oh, sacred light! The flame guides us true.
I leveled up again. So we got 7 job points for beating that thing. Not a lot. But I'm sure it'll be better when you fight more enemies. I've seen monsters before, but nothing like the creatures in this cave. Mayhap they protect the flame. Come to think of it, why do I feel as though someone or something is watching my every move? Where are you, villain? Show thyself.
I will battle. My turn now. My turn. I am not made for such battles.
Curious Bloom. I have no idea what that is. What is any of this? Who are you? Oh, it's a traveling peddler from games like Bravely Default. And Final Fantasy and the 4 Heroes of Light, or whatever that one was, for the DS, that I played back on my original channel over 3 years ago. Of thee who dost tread in these halls, I ask, art thou fit to lighten the flames and shown the path to all humanity?
What?
This voice. I am the guardian of the first flame. If thou wouldst call thyself the Flame Bearer, thou must proven thyself worthy.
I will not lose to
Ah,
you.
it's a big boy.
Well then. Well then.
Hot.
Well then.
Not vulnerable. Sacred Flame gave me strength.
I'll do my best.
That doesn't seem very good.
Yeah.
treat.
Well then. No, you will not!
Ooh.
I'll not be defeated. Ha! Well then, huh?
Are you ready for this?
My turn. Here I go! Oh, sacred light! I'll not be defeated. Yeah. Well then. I'll not be defeated.
See, how much does
Let
this
your
heal?
wounds be healed.
152? Not bad.
I'll do my best. No, you will not. Well then. Well then. Yeah.
Whack. Now,
Here I go.
is luminescence more powerful?
May the sacred flame shine.
Not
forth.
really. The trial begins.
My turn now. Yeah. Well then. Ha! I'll do my best. Huh? There! Well then. Ah! Ah!
Ah, that's not good. How much does this heal? 500? So what are you going to do?
I'll not be defeated. May the sacred flame shine forth.
Okay. I think I avoided a little bit of disaster there.
I'll do my best.
Help me.
My turn now. Ah! I'll do my best. Ah! Ha! Well then. There!
Nice.
Ah! My turn now. May the sacred flame shine
And then we can
forth.
just break his bones.
My turn now. Prepare yourself.
Can you not do that?
I'll not be defeated. I'll do my. Here I go. sacred flame shine forth!
Yeah!
I am not made for such battles.
Break bonus. Plum basket. I have beaten your trial. Give me the flame.
This is...
The first flame of Aelfric. The fire he brought down from the stars. It's so beautiful. As brilliant as the stars burning in the night sky. Ophelia, thou hast been judged worthy to bear in the sacred flame. Reach out thine hand, and take in it Aelfric's lanthorn. The lanthorn. This must be it. You are now attuned to this magic item. This is the sacred lantern used in the kindling. Aelfric's lanthorn.
Liana.
Please forgive me.
Ah.
I must hasten back. Yay, we don't have to walk all the way back.
Liana.
How's His Excellency?
Oh.
He's sleeping still, but he seems to be resting more easily now. Where have you been, Ophelia? Everyone was worried about you.
You see...
Yana, there's something I must tell you. My daughters.
Father? Your Excellency.
My apologies.
Forgive me, my girls, for making you worry so. Do not look at me with such sad eyes, Liana. I will be well again before... Cough, cough.
Father?
Yes.
I will be well again before long, but now is not the time for such worries. The right. I simply cannot bear it. Dearest Liana, here goes.
Your Excellency.
I must speak with you.
Yes.
What is it, Ophelia?
Yes.
I would go on the pilgrimage and complete the kindling in Liana's place.
What?
That's Aelfric's lanthorn. Ophelia, you...
Ophelia.
Your Excellency. You are aware that it is a grave sin for one to enter the Cave of Origin without the Church's permission. I am, Your Excellency.
Ophelia...
But why?
Liana.
Leave us now. I would speak with Ophelia alone.
No!
But father...
Yes.
Worry not, I will not be punishing your sister, Liana. But there are matters we must discuss.
I understand.
Father, just don't be too hard on her, okay?
At least it would seem you came through your ill-advised journey in one piece.
Thanks to the townsperson.
I did, Your Excellency.
And I can assume you set out with no preparation to speak of. For all your quiet dignity.
I am sorry, Your Excellency.
Oh, Ophelia. I only hope that this kindness of yours will not be your ruin.
Your Excellency?
You journeyed to the Cave of Origin so that Liana might stay here with me, did you not? I will inform the Pontiff that there has been a change in plans, and that you will perform the kindling in Liana's stead. Speak with your sister, and learn what she has these many months. Your instruction will be abbreviated, but I know you are up to the task.
Your Excellency.
Your kindness brings warmth and light to all around you, Ophelia, just as does the sacred flame.
Your Excellency,
Everything will be fine.
Ophelia, when I first took you in, I had a dream.
A dream, Your Excellency?
A dream of you, bearing the flame into the world. Looking back now, I realize it was an omen of what was to come. Liana is a fine daughter, my pride and joy. She has served as a daughter of the Church far better than I had any right to expect. But I know that it has not come easily to her. She has given up much of her true self to be who she must be for the Church. I have not yet told Liana, but I fear that I am not much longer for this world.
Hang on, I can learn
Your
revive magic.
Excellency, the healer said...
I trust that I know my body better than any other.
Your Excellency...
Oh, Ophelia. I am so proud of you and Liana both. Promise me that you will love one another forever.
Your Excellency, Father, please, please don't leave us.
Thank you, Ophelia.
And with that, I should be off. Do take care. Take care yourself. I think Father was looking a little better today, don't you? We nearly had to tie him to his bed. He so wished to be here too. It's good to know he's acting more like himself again. Ophelia, I owe you an apology. Whatever for, Liana? When I first heard that you would go on the pilgrimage in my stead, to tell you the truth, I was relieved. The thought that I could stay here with Father instead of worrying about the kindling? I knew you would be putting yourself in great danger, and yet, I was so happy. Can you forgive me, Ophelia? Oh, please. I am the one who should apologize. I have no right to be here and, well, here I am. I know that you only wanted to help me. And knowing that you will perform the rite in my stead makes me happier than anything. Thank you, Liana. And so my journey begins. To Saintsbridge, Goldshore, and finally back to Flamesgrace. Light the flames in each town. Perform the kindling as our forebears have. I'll be gone for a while, but if ever you or Father need me, pray send for me at once. Thank you, Ophelia. Really do take care of yourself, okay? Let us see how Saintsbridge in the Riverlands treats me. Till we meet again, dear sister. May the sacred flame light your path. And may it ever shine its warmth upon you.
And so, the cleric set out on a journey, never meant to be hers. She must complete the kindling, the holy rite carried out every 20 years, to be able to return to the beloved family she wishes to protect. Where will this unexpected journey lead her? Only the gods may know. And we're back in control. Before you continue your journey, across Ostera, there are 7 others who await you. Why not venture out and find them? Together you can defeat even the greatest foes. Yeah. So that's how the game works. See if there are any side quests around here, since they're marked on the map. Looks like inside the prison or something. Hello. Please, please listen. I swear that I'm innocent. I've not killed anyone. I've never done it. I just came across the body, that's all. There was a person there, covered in blood. What would anyone do? Of course I bent down to see if they were alright. I was only trying to help. But the investigation of that man's death was no more than a pretense. That mockery of justice is why I'm now in a cell. There are people who need your help all across Ostera. Help to people of the realm, using the power of path actions. There may be more than one way for you to solve their problems. So begins the tale of the innocent inmate.
How'd you do? How'd you do?
The question is, how exactly do we solve it? There's probably somebody who we could drag along there to, have him talk about his innocence.
Oh.
I was once a member of the Knights Ardente, though my days of waving about a sword are long since over. Besides, they just don't make knights like they used to anymore. I had my brother in arms who was the soul of honor, finest knight I ever knew.
Oh.
Me too.
Lovely.
Yes, it really is remarkable. Inhibit defense.
Mother!
Mama, the cathedral's really big, isn't it? Yes, it is decently big. Oh no, I can't use the bed to rest anymore. What are those lights supposed to be?
Well,
Maybe we need to have a night. Or we have to talk to another person who's marked for a side quest. Those are the guesses I can come up with. It's no good. I simply cannot see the way of it. That's it. It's all over now. My research is done with. I'm finished. All of my research till now suggests that the Jotun should reside somewhere in this land. But I cannot find the proof. There was only some proof that my years of research weren't for naught. So begins the tale of the slumbering giant. The Jotun, huh? Well, my traveler, what can I do you for? Huh. Okay. You're a tale. Ah. Your name is Ophelia and you are a cleric at the cathedral in Flamesgrace. Restore reputation? Your reputation here is unblemished. You can ruin your reputation? Travel on? Oh.
Better believe it.
Yeah, I'm drinking. What of it? I got every right to drink as much as I'd like. No one else is gonna take away the misery of my job. But drink makes money, and money means more work. It just never ends.
Hell.
So this guy is new. Noisome breath. So he's like that old man up ahead is always mumbling something about giants and such nonsense. Doesn't make a whit of sense, but apparently he was once quite the famous scholar. It's always sad to see a great mind gone to waste like that, don't you think? He's like a Marlboro enemy. Where does the time go? I set out to find the truth of the ice giants known as the Jotun. Before I knew what happened, my whole life had passed me by. But it is a most fascinating tale once you begin delving into the details. The nomenclature, for example. See, the reason that the Jotun are commonly known as ice giants is in part because... dear me, there I go again with my ramblings. I do apologize. Please, pay this old man no heed. So we can't drag this guy along to help us in our journey. I like how relaxing the music is here.
Hello.
And nice to meet a new face. I'm Miles. I was recently done the great honor of being appointed to the Knights Ardente. In fact, my late father, rest him, was also a member of the Knights Ardente, though he was stripped of his cloak for the crime of deserting in the midst of battle. Even now, after all these years, it is difficult to believe such slander to be true. My father would never have abandoned his fellow knights in battle. So begins the tale of Sir Miles, Servant of the Flame, Part 1. I still can't believe that my father fled from the field of battle. You have to find proof, I guess? I think I may have seen a dead body last night. Oh, just thinking back on it has me coming over in goose flesh again. What? I was so frightened seeing all that blood. All I could do was shriek and run away. When I looked back, though, there was a man. I think he was trying to see if there was anything he could do to help. How exactly do I do this? Is the question.
Good day to you.
Do we have enough money to get to the robes? We almost have enough to get the other one. I don't know if I want to sell it. Component bearing unknown effects. That's worth a lot of money. Is there a town guard I can drag along for a little bit?
Greetings.
Let's see, there's a guy who's a witness. More than likely I need to be high enough level to get a knight to talk to the witness or talk to this guy. See, are side quests marked in like a journal or something? Side stories. Yeah.
How'd you do?
Yeah, I'm guessing I have to drag a knight to the man and the witness, maybe? But I can't do that yet, so... Wait, I could go to the people that are in front of the cave. I can string one of them along. Hello.
I hate this.
Gaunt's teeth, but it is cold. I don't like the cold, not one bit. Especially my poor feet. Well, they get it the worst. Chilled to the bone they are. I buy rugs when I have spare coin, but they wear through so quickly. Why can't they be made of stronger cloth? Panic arrow. So what about you? Alright, let's head to the, in front of the Cave of Origin and see if we can drag one of the knights back to town.
There is no choice. My turn now.
Give SP, please. Yay!
My turn now. Ha! Prepare yourself! Oh, sacred light! I hope I've grown more able.
Going up and down the mountain is easy enough at least.
There is no choice.
Oh, this is a different enemy.
I'll not be defeated. There! My turn now. Ha!
You're gonna go down all the same though.
My turn. Prepare yourself!
Goodbye.
The flame guides us true.
Safe travels.
Rare. Greetings of the day, Sister Ophelia. Come with me. We're going to prove this man's innocence.
There is no choice. I'll do my best. Yeah. I'll... There! I am not made for such battles.
Do all of your general stats increase from a level up, or just HP and SP? I'm assuming everything.
Flame, protect us! I'll not be defeated. I'll not be defeated. Oh, sacred light!
Okay. Prayer
My
heals.
brother, prepare yourself!
Fair enough. Should be expected, but you never know.
I hope I've grown more able.
Alright, I brought a knight. Hopefully you can help prove your innocence. It's like we have a witness. But, I can't... She won't, follow, so I can't have her help prove innocence. Maybe we need another person to handle it. I'll just buy this for now. It's better than nothing. Alright, let's go forward. Northern Flames Grace Wilds. Where are you? Oh. Monster came out of nowhere and it got me in the leg. I can hardly put any weight on it. Hate to be a bother, but do you have a healing grape to spare? I do, good sir. Give this person what they need? Yes. Phew, feels good to be back on my feet. I can't thank you enough. I'd have been done for if you hadn't come along. My name is Kit. I'm on a journey to find my father. He disappeared when I was just a boy. Are you on a journey too? Perhaps our paths too will cross again someday. Be safe, and may your travels bring you all that you seek. Bye. I obtained a decent amount of money. Side quest for Kit the Traveler. Herb of Clamor.
I will battle.
I have no idea where I'm going, by the way.
I'll do my best. My turn now. Huh? Ah! Oh, sacred light! The flame guides us true.
I see a box. Give me the box. Olive of Life. What are these items? An olive? Grapes?
There is no choice. I'll do my best. Well then. What? Here I go! Oh, sacred light! I am not made for such battles.
North Atlaston Flats. Do we have a world map? I have no idea where we are. Oh, we do have a world map. Transport yourself instantly to any town you visited before. Select the place you want to go with the cursor, then press the A button. You can only fast travel to cities, towns, and villages. Fast travel may be unavailable at times depending on your progress in the game. Okay. Recommended level 5. Yeah, I can't, like, travel to any of these places because I'm not strong enough. Let's see.
Flame, protect us!
Frog.
I'll not be defeated.
Black. Oh no.
I'll not be defeated.
That's something at least.
I'll do my best. Oh, sacred light! Mother, here I go! Oh, sacred light!
Okay. Now I think about it, there's also a
Flame
method to
guides
using
us true.
magic efficiently. Like defending and then powering up your moves.
I will battle.
It's a new one.
I'll do my best.
Back. Oh no.
My turn now. Well then, prepare yourself! Oh, sacred light! I hope I grow more able.
Hello, save point. Wow, like the 2.5 hours that I played before. Danger level 17. Let's not go that way.
Flame, protect us!
Iggy.
Well then.
Whack. Meh.
Well then. I'll not be defeated.
Nice.
I'll do my best. Prepare yourself. I'll not. Yeah. I am not made for such battles.
We have 64 job points.
There is no choice. Well then. No, you will not. I'll not be defeated.
I wonder if I could kill him in one hit.
Prepare yourself.
If I defend and then hit him with a max attack.
The flame guides us true.
About to level up, so we'll get all those points back. Thunder Soulstone.
I will battle.
Ants.
I'll not be defeated. There! I'll not be defeated.
Okay. We're gonna need an ally.
Well then.
Protect me.
Well then. My turn. I'll do my best. There.
The one townsperson who throws me items, way more useful than this guy.
The flame guides us true.
Nice. I'm enjoying myself so far. This is nice and relaxing.
Flame, protect us. My turn now. Ah! I'll do my best. Ha! Well then. Prepare yourself. Oh, sacred light. I hope I've grown more able.
So this forest here. Danger level 15. Oh no, I don't.
I will battle. I'll do my
Okay.
best.
Experimentation
No, you will
time.
not. I'll not. Ah! Ta! I'll do my best. Yeah.
I have no idea how much HP this thing has.
I'll do my best. Ah!
Oh,
I am not made for such battles.
oh, I see. You get a bonus if you break them at all. That's what it seems to be. Give me the box.
Flame, protect us. I'll do my best. My turn now. Ha!
Do the NPCs have HP?
I'll do my best. Prepare yourself. Yeah. I'll do my best. There. I'll not be. Ah! Well then. Well, here I go! There! The flame guides us true.
Ooh, red box. 500 money.
There is no choice. My turn now. Yeah! My turn now. Yeah!
Was it red because it was a critical hit?
My here I go! Oh, sacred light! I hope I've grown more able.
North Rippletide Coast. Oh, we could head down there. Okay. Question mark. We'll head to the city and recruit that guy that's there. Fill out our party a little bit.
I will battle.
Hey, Toad.
I'll not be defeated. Oh, sacred light! I'll do. Ah! Oh, sacred light! The flame guides us true.
To town! Wow, this is a long walkway. And we actually got into a battle inside a town. I just noticed he has a
I'll do my
bandana over
best.
one eye.
Yeah. Well then. No, you will not. My turn now. No, you will not. My turn now. No, you will not. Well then.
And charge...
Ah!
Okay, never mind.
I'll do my best. Oh, sacred light. Well, prepare yourself.
Explosion!
Ah! The flame guides us true.
Who can use fire magic in this game? Hello, Atlasdown.
How fare thee?
He's at that library near the palace. It's filled with all sorts of historical books.
And thus,
Libraries aren't for me. My cows are my priority. This guy has healing grapes.
Hi-ho!
This is Atlasdown, the largest city in all the Flatlands.
Fare thee well then.
It is a city of learning, where many scholars come for the purposes of study and research. There's our inn. An empty house. Prime for looting. Hey, look at this. I found this huge egg just laying around. Isn't it amazing?
Oh, yeah!
I plan on studying hard and becoming a scholar.
Oh, yeah!
Arcane Glaive. Sturdy armor. Just defense and nothing else. Sturdy shield actually lower elemental defense and it's just physical. Circlet. So these just give stats. That actually gives evasion, what? Oh, it gives less evasion than what she currently has on. Here's a tavern. Well, my traveler, what can I do you for?
That's right.
The non-barren seafood to go with a good drink. Even them brainy scholars will agree with me.
Hello.
Oh, I see you're taking an interest in me axe. You're not the you're not like most of the scrawny weaklings around here.
Hello there.
The Royal Palace is just a ways north from here. Apothecary? Mental augmentation. I am curious. And guide your path. Oh, an actual cleric in the flesh. I'd be honored to join you on your journey.
Hello.
Just south of here lies the castle town. It's a lively place. Yes. I think I know now who stole that tome. Perhaps I should go have a little chat with him. Just make sure we all understand one another. His name is Cyrus, and he is a scholar. This is Atlasdom, nestled in the fertile plains of the Flatlands. It is home to the Royal Academy, where many a scholar studies night and day, to bring the light of knowledge to the royal family and to all the realm. He passes his days in the halls of the great library, devouring tomes to his heart's content. It is in that library where he learns of a grievous theft. Certain that one of his fellow scholars is the culprit, Cyrus sets out alone to confront the man in his shadowy subterranean study. He will need wise allies on the path he has chosen. Find comrades and add them to your party. Complete Chapter 1 of their story and they will join you on your journey. After Chapter 1, you can change your party members at the tavern. Take Cyrus along. Travel to other areas may be restricted until you complete certain tasks. Alright. You're the beginning of the tale? Oh, okay. Yes. So, does that mean we basically play through his intro, or...?
And so it was that Atlasdam was founded some 2 centuries ago.
He sounds like somebody who would voice act in Divinity Original Sin 2.
Indeed, our fair city-state is among the longest standing on the continent of Austera.
It's the accent.
But there was another city-state with a history as long and proud as our own that came to a tragic ruin only 8 short years ago. Now, who can tell me its name? How about you, Therese?
I think it was...
Hi, Tita / Donna.
Now,
No need to get all flustered. There's no shame in not knowing an answer, so long as you have a desire to learn. The answer is in your textbook. Go on now, look it up.
Yes, Professor. Let's see. I believe it was Hornburg.
That is correct. Hornburg was ruled over by a royal family, said to be descended from priests of an ancient and long-forgotten religion. On the other hand, our fair Atlasdam was founded by one of the original clans that inhabited the Flatlands. Who can tell me how many clans lived in the Flatlands at the time? Your Highness?
The histories have it that 8 clans did live in the Flatlands in those days.
Correct you are, Your Highness.
It's gonna make the other link to Cold Steel. That's Celine's voice actor, I think?
It was a time of great strife here in the Flatlands, as the 8 clans waged a long and bitter war. Change would come when the armies of Grandport invaded these lands some 2 centuries ago. At the time, the rulers of Grandport sought to exert their influence over territories inland. Ironically, this compelled the warring tribes to put aside their differences and unite against their common foe. Oh, but look at the time. We'll pick up where we left off next time. Don't forget to read chapters 3 and 4 before our next lecture. And be prepared to answer questions on any of the material within.
Yes, Professor. Thank you for another most stimulating lecture, Professor Albright.
Hello?
Ah, Professor Albright. Mercedes from the Royal Library came by with a message for you. Starting this now, weren't I just playing Uncharted? It didn't take that long to beat those games. Both those games are only 8 hours long. I beat them in like 3 or 4 streams each. You just weren't there. But yes, I beat Uncharted 2 and I beat Uncharted 3. Uncharted 4 I don't have. I'll have to pick that up next time I go to the mom and pop shop that I usually go to get Uncharted 4, as well as pick up Fire Emblem Three Houses. Seems today's your lucky day. You've been granted permission to enter the special archives.
Splendid!
Finally, I can begin my research. The library is just outside the palace. I'd best make haste. We are now in control. Who did I start with? I started with Ophelia. It was who I started with back when I originally plugged this in and put a couple hours in back in late 2018. And just dropped it because I wanted to stream the whole game. You know, that's how it goes.
Greetings!
His Majesty possesses a unique understanding of the scholarly pursuits.
Not bad, eh?
He founded the Royal Library and Academy, where nobles and commoners alike can learn freely. So I'm going clockwise?
Greetings!
I have no idea.
Not bad, eh?
How'd you do?
Ahead lies the audience chamber. If you would seek His Majesty's counsel, pray proceed.
How'd you do?
But If I'm going along that clockwise path, I guess. Might as well. We're already on that path. Might as well stick to it, rather than looping around.
Oh.
Those are the wrong stairs, buddy. Professor?
Professor Albright.
Well, thank heavens you're still here. I thought I had missed you.
Your Highness.
What can I do for you, Your Highness?
The truth of the matter
If you can
is...
spare the time, I had a question about something we learned today.
But of course!
Your Highness, it would be my pleasure to answer anything. After all, my role as your tutor is as important to me as any of my research. Unfortunately, I cannot spare much time. Is the question a quick one?
Indeed.
Yes, Professor. It will not take long. I was just wondering about the ancient religion of Hornburg. Pray tell, what did they worship?
Very astute of you.
A very astute question, Your Highness. However, I fear that nearly all the texts detailing the nature of the religion were burned and lost when Hornburg fell. I see. A shame that.
The truth is...
I do, however, have a theory of my own. I believe that the royal family of Hornburg were guardians of an ancient power. Mind you, this is not idle speculation. My theory is based on the fact that...
Oh.
Chatter, chatter, chatter. So what did I think of Ophelia's start? I liked it. Wholesome and melancholy. A mix of those emotions. Let us continue the discussion another time. My apologies for keeping you, Professor.
With pleasure.
No need for apologies. It would be my pleasure, Your Highness. I thought he had a quick question. That such questions occur to you is a sign of a sharp and curious mind.
Why, thank you.
The lectures on the history of the realm are most fascinating to me. For if I do not learn of our past, how can I hope to lead my people to a bright future?
Indeed.
A most admirable philosophy, Your Highness. The people of this land are truly fortunate to be led by one of such wisdom and kindness. As I am truly fortunate to have the opportunity to serve in some small way. You're far too kind, Professor Albright. I am proud to be your student.
Ah,
Oh dear, I'm running late.
good day.
Pray do not forget your assignment, Your Highness.
Farewell.
Of course, Professor. Oh, I didn't see you there. How long were you standing there for?
Ah, Therese.
Hello there, Therese.
Yes.
Did you have a
question for me?
as well?
No.
I mean, no. Good day, Professor.
Hmm?
Hello.
The palace gate lies just to the north. To the east, you'll find the Royal Academy, where the realm's most promising thinkers receive their education.
Hello.
That's interesting. Oh no, we lost our other character. What will we do now?
Hello.
Oh, Cyrus, of all the travelers, You pity this guy the most. Just south of it lies the castle town. It's a lively place.
Oh.
Russell isn't just cut out for that sort of work. Whatever was the... Move along now.
It's me, Cyrus.
Good day, Mercedes. Cyrus Albright, here to browse the special archives. Oh, Professor Albright, looking quite eager today.
Mm-hmm.
When I heard that an original copy of the Church of the Flame, a complete historie, had been donated to our archives, I simply had to be the first to see it.
I see.
You're more on top of our collection than I am. Just sign here.
With pleasure.
Diddle diddle diddle. Something amiss?
Actually,
For someone known as the most brilliant mind in the Royal Academy. When you talk about books, you're as giddy as a schoolboy. When you put it that way, yes. Much as a child is fascinated by a new toy. I am titillated by the prospect of acquiring new knowledge.
I see.
Right, the expression on your face says it all. Dot dot dot. Anyway, everything seems to be in order. Enjoy your quest for knowledge, Professor.
Many thanks.
My dear, I most certainly will. And he was there for hours. Man, it's dusty in here.
What have we here?
How odd. The tome is nowhere to be found. Someone returned it to the wrong shelf? Not here either.
An interesting dilemma.
These archives are strictly guarded and curated. Wherever could it have gone?
Professor Albright!
The headmaster would see you at once. Of all the times to... Oh well. Might I ask you of a favor? What might that be?
The truth is...
The tome I mentioned before seems to have gone missing. Could you locate it for me?
I see.
Missing? I'll begin looking at once, Professor.
Many thanks.
My dear.
Cyrus Albright, by your request, sir.
Do enter.
I can't tell if he looks old or
My
evil.
apologies for summoning you on such short notice.
It may have something to do with the striking red eyes. Also that portrait on the wall.
How might I be of assistance, Headmaster?
That treatise on arcane studies you published. What in the gods' names were you thinking?
Sir? I do believe I made my hypothesis perfectly clear.
I'm not talking about your hypothesis. You went out of your way to cite one of the texts in our special archives. The knowledge housed in those tomes is the Royal Academy's greatest treasure.
And the problem is...
It is not to be divulged to the public at your whim. Laying it bare in one of your silly papers is out of the question.
I am fully aware of the value of those tomes, Headmaster. It is for that very reason I would share the knowledge with my peers.
You are to share nothing! That wisdom is for
Battle
the
stance.
Academy and the Academy alone.
But that goes against everything...
Enough, Cyrus!
even my best argument is sure to fall on deaf ears. The headmaster sees knowledge as a medal or precious stone, something to be appreciated by its rightful owner alone.
Yeah, knowledge hoarder.
Knowledge is power, and power is to be hoarded. An unfortunate attitude, indeed.
Hey, look.
My sincere apologies, Headmaster. It won't happen again. Is there anything else you need of me?
That is all. You may go. Wait, there was one last thing.
Sir?
Go to the sewers and kill some rats for me.
I heard the Special Archives will be closing early today. If you have research to do there, I would do so quickly.
Good gods. It's as if he enjoys watching me suffer.
I have a
Thank
strange
you for
feeling
your
he does.
concern, Headmaster. In that case, I'll be on my way.
Enter.
Excuse me.
Headmaster.
What's the matter?
Yes. What is it, Therese?
Hmm.
It's about Professor Albright, sir. And I forget, what is it called? Dramatic irony?
Hello there.
This is the Royal Academy. Atlas Dem's pride and joy.
Sure is rain.
All are welcome to engage in the pursuit of knowledge here. Don't stop me from going back inside. Doesn't look like there's much to interact with in here, though. My eyes! It's all so bright!
Oh.
What is it this time, Cyrus?
Oh.
Nobody wants to talk to Cyrus. This is why you should not hire attractive teachers.
Oh.
Hello there.
I have a strange feeling most of these people say the same exact things. Hey, look at this. I found this huge egg just laying around. Isn't it amazing?
Oh, yeah!
Go on studying hard and becoming a scholar. Level 1. Oh, he uses stabs as well. Now the question is, how can he handle himself in a fight? When like, by himself. What is his special, unique ability? Which we'll find out later, when we actually fight. The Special Archives.
Can I help you?
Ah, Professor Albright.
A moment of your time.
Did you have any luck finding the tome?
My apologies.
I'm afraid not.
Say it is not so.
Well, this is most unfortunate. One might conclude that it had been stolen.
Actually,
Professor, taking books out from these archives is strictly forbidden. And as you know, the keys to the vault are entrusted to only a select few. Quite honestly, it would be easier to steal the crown off the king's head.
Aho!
An impregnable vault. A disappearing tome. It would seem we have quite the mystery on our hands. And the mysteries of the world are meant to be solved. Or so the scholar in me says. Would you not agree? If it had been stolen, I would say it's a job for the city guard. Well, you can see I won't let it go until you've cracked the case, as it were.
Indeed!
You could say that indeed. A habit I just can't seem to break. Once a puzzle is placed before me, I simply cannot rest until I've worked out a solution.
I see.
Well, far be it from me to stand in your way. It must be tough being a genius.
Leave it to me.
I'll not deny it. Worry not, the tome will be back on the shelf before you can bat an eyelash.
Take care.
Right, thanks. Best of luck in your search.
Time to do some
And
research.
the game is afoot. Now, where to begin my search? I suppose I should inquire with Mercedes as to where the keys to the library are stored. The guard at the front door would know who had been frequenting the library lately, as might my fellow scholars. Then mayhap should I pay the headmaster a visit as well. Utilize each character's unique action to overcome any obstacle. Cyrus can scrutinize and glean new knowledge from the townspeople. Ooh, try pressing Y in front of a townsperson. Scrutinize. Dramatic. Let's see now. Testimony. Of course I got a key to the archives, and no, I wasn't sleeping. I was resting my eyes. Is all. But even if I was sleeping, what would it matter? What kind of fool would bother stealing a worthless tome anyway? Information gleaned, the guard situation. Most intriguing. I glean new information. Guard situ. Okay, so this is how I'll probably get the testimony from the lady who saw the guy go leaning over the dead body. Oh, Cyrus. I trust you not to interrupt my research. Testimony. Key to the archives? Well, I haven't got that, but I'm not surprised someone stole a tome, considering what they're worth. I have gambling debts myself, so I understand the temptation. Most intriguing.
Are you alright?
Have you cracked the case yet, Professor Albright? Whoosh. Testimony. Only Headmaster Yvonne and the guard station outside should have a key to the library archives. Most intriguing. Then we get thrown into a class trial and we have to blast arguments with a gun. Headmaster, I suspect you. Testimony? You know full well I have a key to the special archives, and that I would never be so foolish to let it fall into the wrong hands. In any event, I have no reason to pursue those tomes in quite some time. Most intriguing. He has a key, this is true, but the dust gathered upon its
Splendid!
That should be all the information I need to solve the case. The headmaster and the guard, of course.
But of course!
Of course. It all makes sense now. There are only 2 keys to the archives, one belonging to the headmaster and one to the guardsmen. Whose key was used to unlock the archives? I think they talked about, like, the dust, so probably the guards then. The headmaster's key was safely locked away in his office. Furthermore, he hasn't visited the archives today. On the other hand, the guard has been acting suspiciously of late, even sleeping while on active duty.
Aho!
It'd be all too easy a task to lift the key off his person. Show me the key. So is it possible that the guard is our man?
No.
No. He would have no motive. The culprit must be someone who understands the true value of the tome. Which is to say, one of my colleagues. And most likely the one who has incurred a frightful gambling debt.
Which means that...
Put it all together, and our villain is... Russell. I mean, it's a decent leap in logic, but, let's see. Indubitably, that shifty scholar, Russell. Yes, I dare say my logic is foolproof.
Shall we begin?
No other remains is to find our man and make him confess to the crime. And then fight. Word has it he's been doing his research underground these days. Huh.
Now then!
I think it's time I did some fieldwork of my own. By George, I think I have it. And so I have taken it upon myself to investigate the suspicious scholar. Interested in coming along, are you? It seems you have quite the curious streak yourself. But of course, mysteries exist only to be solved. After all, it is of utmost importance to remember that. But there I go again. Don't let me talk your ear off, but I will be glad for your help. Let us get right to business then. No doubt we'll find Russell in his laboratory down below. Cyrus joined the party. Is he only level 1? Yes, he is. Pathetic. Whoosh. Let's see now. Once in charge of protecting the king, this guard suffered a serious leg injury and was since transferred to a calmer post inside the grounds. Though the injury healed long ago, he hasn't mentioned it to anyone, and enjoys the serenity of his new post. Information gleaned a hidden item. Ooh, most intriguing. Oh, okay, nice. Light soulstone, so you want to scrutinize everybody.
Ah, yes.
Rumor has it, the scholar Russell's fallen on hard times.
To tell the truth.
Last I heard, he sold his house and locked himself away in a cave under the academy to continue his research. Now that's devotion. Slash. Modest man and a purveyor to the royal family who takes great pride in his goods. Whether his customer be commoner or king, he refuses to sell something unless he deems the buyer worthy of it. And we have a hidden item gleaned. See, question is, where hidden item?
Are you alright?
I think we'll just go solve his case for now. 2 mages bashing things over the head with staves. What a team. Rape. Cyrus takes the lead.
There is no choice.
Huh. What is that, an archaism? Study foe.
Interesting dilemma.
Scholar skills. Fireball. Yes. Yeah, they both have their own BP. Smack.
Well then. Yeah.
This will make battles so much easier.
My turn now.
Thus ends your lesson.
Bam, level up. Oh wait, she has a lot of job points now. When did that happen? Skills, learn skills. You. Job points. Let's see. Probably revive. Yeah, revive is probably good. Scholar is basically textbook for black mage. Yeah? You can now equip support skills from the skills menu. Why don't you give it a try? Support skills. Persistence. Learn more skills to unlock additional support skills. Don't forget to equip support skills. You can equip up to 4 support skills at one time. All status enhancements you receive will last for 1 additional turn. Alright. Herb of Clamor. Whoosh.
Can't we settle this like gentlemen?
No. Oh, he actually gleans weaknesses. Whack.
My turn now.
Might as well test.
Oh, sacred light.
Nope, not vulnerable to that.
My turn now.
What is the
Explosion. Boom. It's a pretty big fireball.
Not bad. A passing grade.
Aha. Crap.
I've done my research on you.
Vulnerable to fire and vulnerable to sword.
My turn now.
And
Well then.
thus ends your lesson.
There's a skill he can learn to, well, learn an enemy's weakness. I mean, he does it once per battle now, which is already pretty damn good.
Can't we settle this
The
like
more
gentlemen?
VP you use, the more weaknesses are revealed.
I'll do my
Cool.
best.
Now.
My turn. The flame guides us true.
Give me that box. Inspiriting Plum. Looks like there's a path to the right there.
Flame, protect us.
Now.
I'll not pass. My
Not bad. A passing grade.
Let's see, if we look at skills, learn skills, him, analyze, reveal the HP and 1 weakness of a single foe. Oh, I like that. I hate not being able to see the HP of enemies. Okay. That's not actually a path to the right. It's a fake out. For scrubs like these, it's easy, but for a boss, you can't help but be curious. Of course. It's a new one.
I'll not be defeated.
Smack. A fire enemy? I wonder. Are you maybe vulnerable to ice?
Now.
Oh,
Ice Wind.
Here's come through.
You should have studied harder.
Skills. Learn skills. Yes, analyze. Get 1 SP cost. Herb of Light. So, what are you doing here, merchant?
There is no choice.
My ear.
Now, what next? So much to learn.
Okay, so it's
I'll not be defeated.
it's Final Fantasy like
Huh?
it's like Final Fantasy style of like you don't actually see a health bar, it's just smack. That didn't work.
Well then. May the sacred
Zap.
flame shine forth.
Oh boy,
What
sleep?
is the logical course of action?
Oh. All of his magic is AoE?
Thus ends your lesson.
I like that all of his magic is AoE. So, sir. You need anything? Just say the word. Got nothing. An old coin. Is it something special? Which is a fair price if sold. Have I ever got up to 3 BP? I know what the max is. It's just that here you can kill the enemies so quickly it doesn't really matter.
Course of so much to learn.
I'll not be there. I'll not be there.
Smack.
What is the logic?
Well then, prepare yourself.
Kaboom.
Oh, sacred light.
The effects are so
I'm
cool.
not made for such battles.
I love me some good auras. Sir, I would like a book.
What?
Professor Albright. Are you always in the habit of barging into your peers' offices while they're working?
Excuse me.
My apologies. I would have knocked, but I didn't see a door.
A moment of your time.
Apropos of nothing, mayhap you've heard that a certain tome was stolen from the archives. I haven't the faintest clue what you're talking about.
Come now.
Russell, lying dumb is just going to drag this out for the both of us. So let's cut straight to the heart of the matter. You're a thief and I can prove it. What the hells you can?
The truth is...
Unfortunately for you, at precisely the moment you are trying to sneak back with the key, your friend the guardsman was just waking up from his little slumber.
What?
It's impossible. He was asleep. Positively. Don't you just confessed to your crime, buddy?
Oh!
Keeping up on our friend Solomon's, are we, old chum? It was a slip of the tongue. I tell you, I know nothing about this goddamn book.
Is that so?
Figured you say as much. Then, perhaps you'd care to accompany me to the academy? To prove your innocence, of course.
No.
Damn it. Damn it all to hell. It was a perfect plan. Not for your bloody meddling, I could have had it all. Oh, he mad.
I don't think this one will listen to reason.
No. He seems a little, crazy.
Best.
Let's see. Whack! Nope.
An interesting dilemma.
Water wisp. They're probably weak to lightning.
An interesting dilemma.
Well then. Well then.
Are you ready to die?
Yourself. There.
Now the true lesson begins.
Oh, they're weak to fire. Okay.
Well then. Let your wounds be healed.
Bye-bye. Tome toss. He just throws the book at me.
So much to learn.
There's like 100 HP left, okay. He's muttering an incantation.
I'll not be defeated.
An interesting dilemma.
Yeah, so Cyrus goes last, so... Or not Cyrus. The mage guy. What's his nuts?
I'll not be defeated. Let your wounds be healed.
An interesting
Alright.
dilemma.
Analyze.
So much to learn.
They are weak to lightning as well.
I'll not be defeated. Here I go! May the sacred flame shine forth! My turn now.
Oh, he got silenced. We don't need that.
So much to learn.
Is that wind?
My turn now. Let your wounds be healed.
Now, what
And your final weakness.
much to learn?
He has 1,500 HP left.
An interesting dilemma.
My turn now. Yeah.
Wildfire.
I'll do my best. Prepare yourself. There.
What is the...
Now the true lesson begins.
Ophelia.
I'll do my best.
They're just so much stronger.
I'll not be defeated.
What is the lo...
My turn. Yeah.
Now,
One more turn and we can explode him.
an interesting...
My turn now. My turn. Here I go.
Hope he had a nice life.
Oh, sacred light.
1,000 damage.
The flame guides us true.
Oh, that's probably why Ophelia was level 8 in that fight. I swear, I never meant to. I just needed the money.
Just so.
That tome would fetch a small fortune. This is true. And yet, did you not for a moment consider the consequences?
Say it is not so.
In stealing that tome, you would steal from our students something more valuable than all the realm's riches. A grave crime, no matter who would perpetrate it, but all the more unforgivable when committed by one who calls himself a scholar. Tome Reget.
Thank you.
Well, I'll be. You actually did crack the case of the stolen book.
Indeed.
He has a fucking pipe, really. That's what it looks like, at least. I can't tell. Is that a book or a pipe? It's a book. I can just barely make out the change in color from the desk. But it looks almost like a pipe. That I did. And yet, I fear this may not be the only volume our friend had purloined. Russell has already confessed to the full extent of his crimes and revealed the names of his business associates. We need only track down the books and purchase them back. I'll speak to the guards and see that we redouble security of the archives. What's this? It says there's another book still missing? That scoundrel of a scholar stole this one as well.
Actually,
Ah, from the far reaches of hell. No, I can assure you that he did not. It's been missing for some 15 years now. Quest. Russell's aggressive borrowing only extends some 2 years back.
I see.
So this volume was lost, or stolen long before that.
yes.
His code aligns perfectly with the desk's wood, by the way. Just wanted to point that out. And as always, Professor. Pray tell me more about From Far Reaches of Hell. According to our records, it would seem to be a compendium of ancient rites and long-lost magics.
actually...
If I am not mistaken, it was the single oldest volume housed within our archives. Needless to say, it was a tremendous loss.
Most
Ooh,
intriguing.
yet another mystery, it would seem. Professor Albright, the headmaster would speak with you at once.
Is Artemis...
Again. Who could it be this time? Perhaps he plans to commend you for your role in apprehending the library thief. I have no interest in accolades, but if he insists... So they can't be reinvestigated. Is there a particular tome you are looking for? Most intriguing. Scrutinize. Let's see now. No item or individual that passes through the palace gates escapes this guard's notice. Rumor has it, however, that his dedication is not rooted in any sort of loyalty, but is rather born of the desire to perpetrate and protect his own unscrupulous business of selling trinkets to collectors of royal mementos. Most intriguing. Hidden item somewhere. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of hidden items. The eldest son in a family that has served the king for generations. He takes pride in his job as a guard and would risk his life to protect the king and his palace. This loyalty has earned him the king's utmost trust. Ooh. Healing grape. Ooh, boxes. It's not stealing if nobody notices. What do you want? I don't have anything here for you. Honestly, I don't. Do you? A young boy who sneaks into the palace to steal valuables. He sells the spoils to provide a life for himself and has yet to be caught. In actuality, the queen has already noticed but has turned a blind eye to his actions. A hidden item, you say? A buckler. So a free shield for, somebody. Yeah, most of these are a very obvious, blip on the map. Let's see. Born in the slums in the coastlands, this guard was recognized for his skills and now protects the throne room. Despite holding the same position, he is ridiculed by the other guards simply for his origins, causing tension between the two. Most intriguing. Oh, I see. It shows up on the map as an exclamation point. That's good to know. So how come when I talked to that one guy and it said there was a hidden item? Didn't show up on the map. The son of a prominent family in Atlasdam, and one of the guards responsible for protecting the throne room. Rather than earning his post, however, he was granted to him as he has no merits of his own. This one is over here. A small cup. Fetches a modest price if sold. So you just sell junk around. I got it. This guy seems useful though. Oh look, there it is. He gets you a lot of neat little extra items. And also lore. Born and raised in Atlasdem, this old widow now visits this place every day in memory of her late husband. Even after she passes, she wishes to be by her husband's side, just like the relief of the king and queen in the Academy's library. Most intriguing. Odds and ends? The item's literally called odds and ends? Yeah, like, nobody's interactable, right?
I've brought Professor Albright, as asked, sir.
Good. Enter.
And Ophelia just hangs out outside.
Thank you, Lucia.
Yes, Headmaster. What can I do for you? Something tells me he's not about to offer a commendation.
Professor Albright, a most troubling report has reached my ears.
Oh boy, here we go.
A report, sir?
An anonymous source claims that you have abused your prestigious position to enter into an illicit relationship with Her Highness the Princess.
Oh boy.
Oh. And you believed this report, sir?
If it is untrue, then say so.
Why, it is unfounded, unsubstantiated, balderdash of the highest order.
I would like to take your words at face value, Professor, but I fear the situation is not so simple. A rumor regarding the royal family, even an unsubstantiated one such as this, is sure to spread quickly. If we do not take swift action, Princess Mary's good name could be forever sullied.
Swift action how?
That is something that simply cannot be allowed to happen. Surely you understand.
And so what do you intend to do with me, sir?
It is not an easy decision to make. Dismissing you outright would be tantamount to an admission of guilt.
Time to go on a
If I
journey?
may be so bold, Headmaster, what about a sabbatical? Professor Albright has put on extended leave, while official accounts state that he's doing fieldwork in a distant land.
Adventure time.
What say you, Cyrus? This way, both the Academy's reputation and your own will remain intact.
My reputation?
Do we have a problem, Professor?
Not at all, Headmaster. On the contrary, this might prove the perfect opportunity.
Opportunity? For what?
Time to find a book.
As a matter of fact, there is a matter which has piqued my interest of late. I was just wondering when I might find the time to do a bit of research in the field. I think I will set forth on a journey. In search of an ancient tome that disappeared 15 years ago. Besides, if I am not permitted to share what I have learned with my peers and the public, there is little point in continuing my research here.
Fair point.
Is that so? Do tell, Professor. What is it that you intend to investigate?
Like I have to tell you.
as regards a certain tome. Now, if you will forgive me, I must begin packing for my journey. Good day to you, Headmaster.
An enigma as ever, that one.
Professor!
Oh, Therese, what is it?
I heard that you were leaving the academy.
Then you heard true.
Professor, I'm so sorry.
I see. So you were the source of the rumor.
You knew?
Not until just this moment, when you apologized. And yet, I cannot fathom your motive. Why would you tell such a terrible lie?
Jealousy.
You're always helping Her Highness, answering her every question. I just wanted you to pay more attention to me.
And that's why you went to the headmaster.
Yes, but I just wanted to get you in a little trouble. I didn't think they would. I am so sorry, Professor. Can you ever forgive me?
Worry not, my dear. It just so happens that I was looking for a good excuse to go on a journey.
You were?
For some time now, I've wanted to travel the realm and see what can be learned beyond these halls. I dare say the timing couldn't have been better. You see, there's a certain matter I simply can't wait to investigate. So fret not, my girl. If anything, you've done me a favor. Besides, I am not entirely without fault in the matter. Indeed, I have not been as attentive to you as I should. Had I realized your true intention sooner, I would not be in this position.
Professor, whatever do you...
If only I had realized how devoted you were to your studies, my dear girl.
Completely oblivious.
My studies.
I can hear the
always
slight tinge of
striven to
anger
treat
in
all
that.
my students equally. And yet, Her Highness is always eager to ask questions.
Great.
And I was all too eager to answer them. In doing so, I may have given the impression that I favored her above you and the others. This was not my intention, but I am at fault all the same. Yes, if only I had seen you for the ardent and devoted young scholar that you are.
Just go.
Professor. Perhaps you're not quite as sharp as I thought you were.
Yes?
Never mind.
In that case, I should be off. Pray do not shirk your studies, my girl.
Yes, Professor. Will I ever see you again?
I do not see why not, provided we both still live.
Good old oblivious main character syndrome. Glad I was just in time to see how incredibly dense our dear scholar is. I think it's comedically perfect how that was handled. Well, I guess we continue our adventures again. Alright, see you later, Chess Master. Have a good night. Let's see. Okay, so it refreshes when you, part ways. Died with ease. After the great pestilence in the Riverlands, this apothecary decided to dedicate himself to disease prevention and swift treatment. He now works together with the Royal Academy in Atlastem to create both medicine and new forms of treatment. Just intriguing. Folks in the town will be more receptive to my guidance. I don't know what exactly that means, but alright. Let's see now. Age 10. The childhood friend of the reckless boy by her side. Being the older by 2 years, she was entrusted with watching over him. Despite his endless curiosity oftentimes putting them both in danger, she takes her role seriously and is prepared to face whatever challenges come her way. A hidden item somewhere. Age 8. Brimming with curiosity, this young boy would go to whatever lengths necessary to sate an interest, even if it puts him in danger. Though his reckless tendencies worry those around him, oftentimes rare and valuable items he brings back from his ventures have earned him the esteem of his friends. Smarter bartering. You have a better chance of getting a discount when you purchase items. There's a chance? I can't scrutinize him. Age 28. Every morning, this fisherman hauls his catch to the castle town of Atlastem. He takes the leftovers to the tavern to have it cooked and enjoys the fruits of his labor alongside a few drinks. Guard. An old mercenary who spends most of his day in the tavern. He claims the liquor calms his nerves, so when summoned by his employer, he reports for duty with staggering steps. Most intriguing. Empty coin pouch. I'll nab that. Nourishing nut. Nut. See, age 22. A thoughtful rancher who delivers the fresh milk from his cows to his parents every morning. His parents worry for his future, though, as he dedicates his entire life to work alone. Discount at the end. Lodgings in town are now cheaper. How much is, 0? Heck yeah! That's a steal! And now everybody is fully healed. Oh, I missed what he said. Oh well. Let's see. Since we are allowed to fast travel now, let's head over here and see what the people in, I thought I was able to fast travel. Oh, I have to leave town normally. I see. Finish a quest.
Now, I must find out all I can about From the Far Reaches of Hell. My erstwhile colleague Odette knows more about arcane studies than anyone I know. Last I heard, she sojourned in Quarry Quest. I should
Quarry
begin
Quest.
my journey there.
West. Shady Man in Hood. Is it Russell, maybe? And so, Cyrus left the Academy behind, in search of the lost tome, from the far reaches of hell. What dark secrets might its pages hold? Only the gods know. And eventually us. I'm gonna scrutinize you. New weapons for sale. In charge of defending the castle town, this mercenary turned guard keeps a vigilant eye on those coming in and out of the gates. Once he spots a suspicious figure, he uses whatever means necessary to apprehend them. New weapons for sale. Townsmith and armor have new wares. Might as well check it out. Mage's staff. Man, that is expensive. Wow, that's not good. Wind attire? That's a lot of speed. What kind of equipment you got, boy? SP and max HP up. Really? Max HP? I mean, the SP might be useful, but not really. Circle is a direct upgrade for what Ophelia has too, so I might as well purchase that as well. SP is good to have, right? Yay, money. An improvement is an improvement. Oh hey, there's new people here now. A lot of new people.
Hello.
I designed a new model of windmill. Not to boast, but it's far more efficient than the ones we already have. Alas, for some reason nobody's willing to give it a try. It could save these people a fortune, but everyone's stuck in their old ways. If only I could find my first customer, I'm sure my luck would change. Heck yeah. I don't want any trouble here. Forgive me, I did not mean to interrupt. Reputation. Dealing with Path actions will negatively impact your reputation in town, so be careful. Townsfolk will not respond to your path actions if you have a poor reputation. Fortunately, the bartender at the tavern can fix your reputation, for a fee. It's an 80% chance. Chance of success, 80%. It's a 1 out of 5 chance of failure, and a 4 out of 5 chance of succeeding. What's going on? Let's see now. There we go. A man of the Frostlands attempting to design a new kind of windmill. For a time, he was apprenticed to an inventor while pursuing his studies. He specializes in improving upon established designs, making them cheaper to produce or more efficient to operate. Most intriguing.
Eyeing me.
Stew up, piece of sparkle. This cuz will even buy me a proper drink around here. Why, you think it means anything? Is use a thing? Sure. I meant it was a part of something once. What does it mean? None. Rather, it don't fill your belly. Boy, no spoilers my fun, get your way with it. Forgive me, did not mean to interrupt. Man, I am the most unlucky person. Age 38. A terrible drunk who becomes incredibly violent when deep in his cups. A former mercenary, he knows all too well how to hurt a man, and his rampages has led him to be cast out from many a tavern. His sole prized possession is a small gold medal. Since he was a wee tot, my son's dreamed of traveling the world in service of a knight. Says he don't want to be a knight himself, just a squire. It's a rum notion for a lad to get into his head. Truth be told, he's not fit for anything else that I can tell. Scrutinize. 90% chance of working? Let's see now. Age 48. Quite possibly the most spirited woman in town. Gregarious and assertive, the townsfolk see her as a leader. Her somewhat quiet son, however, tends to follow the pack, much to his mother's dismay. I like it when the bard tells us new ballads. We just heard one about the legendary knight Sokrath, how valiant and noble he was. Let's see. Age 8. When happy, she jumps in the air for joy. When sad, she slumps to the ground in dismay. Her sole dream to become the realm's greatest actress. Though her friends sing her praises, the greater world knows nothing of her talents. Still, her talents are undeniable, and if given the opportunity, she will seize it and never look back. Most intriguing.
See, here it is.
I once served in the household of a noble family. A small home for one feels terribly small and cramped in comparison. Age 52. My master was generous enough to bequeath me an invaluable inheritance. Memories of my loving family, a place within a noble legacy, and a symbol of my service. I have hidden it for safekeeping and recorded the location in my journal.
Good day to you.
That old chap was once in the service of a highborn family. He has a notebook he took from the highborn house. It's his prized possession, they say. Let's see. Age 26. A mild-mannered woman who treats everyone with such kindness that some men have grown infatuated with her. She is completely unaware that these admirers have misinterpreted her actions and even fought amongst themselves over her supposed affections. For the most part, other women pity her lot and think the men utter fools. Most intriguing.
Aye, aye.
You better repay me when I'm due. Your debts are only going to keep growing at this rate. Your parents must be weeping in the afterlife to see you like this, Professor. Spineless weakling, good for nothing but cracking open books. Age 31. A miserable moneylender who looks for easy prey. Once he discovers his chosen target's weakness, he exploits it for a quick profit. Having never succeeded in his studies, he now holds a personal grudge against anyone who looks the least bit intelligent. Most intriguing. And you.
Good day.
I'm a teacher at the Royal Academy. You may call me Thrasio. But I'm afraid I'm being hounded by nasty, vicious moneylenders. I have repaid all my parents' debt, but the interest... They always claim I haven't paid all the interest. So begins the tale of Thrasio's something. Age 28. A kind-hearted, albeit inexperienced professor at the Royal Academy who folds easily under pressure. Deep down he is a passionate individual with a dream he wishes to see come true.
Good day.
I'd probably have to intimidate him or something, but we don't have a guy for that yet.
Greetings to ye.
Shall I tell you a secret? The truth is, I've been asked to cook for the king himself. I do not lack for confidence in my skills. Alas, I can't seem to get my hands on the ingredients I need most. I only want the best milk, crab, and eggs. So begins a tale fit for a king. The finest chef in Atlastem. When he worked at the palace, his cooking could please even the pickiest eater of the royal family. Now in pursuit of making the finest food, he's very particular about his ingredients, but has difficulty finding them. Flambe. Let the flame guide your path. Greetings, sister. Shall I make something to eat? Does every single person you could drag along have different dialogue?
Oh, yeah.
If so, that's pretty cool. Milo's tips are never wrong, and that's the God's truth. The last batch of wares he told me about I sold in a single morning. Milo says he has a business opportunity, and I listen. Let's see. Age 34. Merchant who spends a disproportionate amount of time loitering near Milo in hopes of obtaining profitable information. He tries to do so by deliberately bumping into him and striking up conversations about nothing in particular. Most intriguing. Did any new people show up here? Some new people.
Greetings.
Ever since I read a book about knights, I've dreamt of becoming a noble knight squire. Oh, I love knights, don't you? Their fancy armor and jaunty plumes atop their heads. All I need now is to find one in need of a squire. Age 21. A young man who wants more than anything to help others. Proud of how his father supports public figures from the shadows, he strives to live up to his example. Should he follow in his footsteps, no one will ever know how instrumental he is to the success of others. Most intriguing.
How are you doing today?
You told me you're looking for... Nope. Oh, look, a quest.
Greetings.
This tome, The Ancient Capitals, contains a record of the ancient city of gold. Look, do you see? An entire city where everything is made of gold. I wish there were more details about it, but it's only the previous mention. So begins a tale, City of Gold. Scrutinize. Age 23, an avid reader who spends most of her waking hours in the Royal Library. She would rather read than eat. Once neglected to sleep for 3 days, too absorbed in a good book. She claims to have inherited her love of literature from her late mother. Tome Tempest. She like spin really fast and throw books at people? I would love to see that. You're new.
Hello.
Oh, it's Milo. You interested in trading? Because I got an opportunity you might call golden. Want to hear it? Of course you do, matey. Of course you do. The Jalapeno. A well-informed man with an uncanny knack for fortune-telling the future. With his vast wealth of knowledge, he consistently managed to predict market trends. Word of his talents have reached to the ears of the Polzione family, which has taken an interest in him. So what is that? The Jalapeno. I have discovered another ancient ode, recounting the exploits of a knight most sturdy. I'm still working on my delivery, but would you care to hear some of it? Success, 60%. It worked! A young troubadour who has only just embarked on his journey to become famous, and his own poetry is still lacking. He spends his days wandering the realm and studying the works of the masters. Even when he is simply practicing singing another song, people flock to listen, for his voice is beyond compare. Information gleaned: the Song of Sokrath. Is it like something in the journal, or...? Just gotta find the right people and have the right people to do things, I'm guessing. Still, looks like nobody in here even wants to have a chat. Guy's gone. Wait a minute. Nothing. Seriously, that comically evil portrait. I don't know people we gotta talk to. You're new.
What ho?
Art lover. I collect great works of art, and this particular artist has been a favorite of mine lately. The only trouble I have is that this artist is quite particular and refuses to paint anything but landscapes. Still, I wish I could find more of his work. If only I could track down more examples. The prodigious painting. Yeah. Age 40. With a passion for paintings, this aristocrat spends his time and money collecting art pieces from painters in every region. Eventually, he plans on opening a museum to show the world the magnificence of all the artworks he has amassed. An interesting endeavor. And eventually we shall help him. Eventually. Is the king ever here? Okay. Here we go, fast travel. Although honestly, I kind of wanted to walk just to see if there were any NPCs on the road or something, because I cannot remember. Also, it's probably good to get a little bit more job points. Get more skills. And money. Won't take that long. And then we'll fast travel back to this town and continue our clockwise stroll through everywhere.
There is no choice.
What is the logical course of action?
Scanning. Shadow?
My turn now.
An interesting dilemma. So much to learn.
Vulnerable to lightning.
Well then.
Oh, is that blindness?
Fine. Focus.
What's happening?
Interesting dilemma.
I don't know what that
Flame
status effect
guides
is.
us true.
And it didn't even seem to do anything. Cyrus leveled up. Oh, the danger level went up. It's level 4 now. Because we're stronger.
I will battle.
Ribbit.
What is the logical course of action? So much to learn.
Vulnerable to ice.
My turn now.
If only you could delay your turn.
Ah! I'll do my best. Ha!
My focus is up. Oh, ice, pierce them through.
Thus ends your lesson.
I will battle.
Ribbit.
My turn now.
What is the
Oh, ice, pierce them through.
An interesting dilemma.
I'll do my Ah! I am not made for such battles.
Wonder if there will eventually be a faster way to obtain EXP. My guess, there probably will be. We won't know until we reach that point.
Time to teach you a lesson.
Vulnerable to
What
fire.
is the logical course of action? So much to learn.
My turn now. Huh? May the sacred flame shine forth. I'll do my best. Ah!
And
Oh, flames, rage strong.
thus ends your lesson.
On the save point. This way leads to town.
There is no choice.
Oh, that's a new enemy.
Well then. Huh? Huh? Ah!
What is the logical course of action? So much to learn. An interesting dilemma. So
The
much
last
to
thing you're
learn.
vulnerable to is arrows.
I'll do my best.
A lot of things are vulnerable to arrows.
May the sacred flame shine forth.
What is
Oh, flames, rage strong.
You should have studied harder.
Double level up. So beautiful.
Can't we settle this like gentlemen?
I'll do my best. Huh? Huh? May the sacred flame shine forth.
And
Oh, flames, rage strong.
you should have studied harder.
Domination. Is that basically... So winning on the first turn, I guess, is domination? Or they just don't get a chance to attack? Anyway, that gets you, I'm guessing, a few extra JP. Which is good stuff. Let's see. Age 53. Years ago, he and his daughter had a fight, after which he eloped with her husband-to-be. Now that she's returned, he is unsure of how to face her. Nevertheless, he is happy to see his grandson's face. Probationer. Alright. Miles, age 24. A young man recently appointed to the Knights Ardente. He is an extremely hard worker due to his strict upbringing. He asked his father on many occasions about his past, but heard nothing until recently. You. There it is, an eyewitness account. Who is sending me text messages at midnight? Oh, it's a message from a credit card thingy. An auto notification, basically. Oh. And also, for whatever reason, my phone is at super low percentage, because I forgot to charge it, like, the past couple days. Let's see, witness. I don't regret running away yesterday. I'm sure anyone would have done the same after seeing someone else collapse into streets, covered in blood. It was okay because someone else must have called the guards. That poor person has probably been rescued, right? Most intriguing.
Hey.
Items to keep you warm are a must. Scrutinize. What's your problem? Are you trying to start a rivalry or something? 10% chance! There was a 1% chance of that happening. A merchant who journeyed from the south to get his hands on the Frostland's pristine snow water. Rumored to grant the drinker a tuner youth, the water demands a high price among the aristocracy. The source of the rumor, however, is none other than this clever merchant himself. Most intriguing indeed. I don't believe anybody is up here. Yeah, no one's up here. Let's see. Age 62. Once a scholar who traveled the continent researching monsters, the anecdotes of his astonishing encounters, though true, sound like mere fairy tales. So there are few who believe him. Most intriguing. New information for the ice giant sleeps, which I believe is that quest in the inn there. Anxious townswoman, age 23. Born and raised in Flamesgrace, this pious woman prays to the sacred flame every day, but with monsters and dangerous incidents on the rise, she has started to consider leaving the home she loves for a more peaceful place. You live in a JRPG, there is no peaceful place. There we go. Diligent student, age 33. A passionate scholar who loves researching. Unfortunately, the headmaster has yet to acknowledge his worth, leaving him vexed. That doesn't help me at all.
Better believe it.
I read the tree as much as I like. Nothing else is going to take away the misery of my job. Drink makes money, yeah. Scrutinize. Age 38. A proud soldier and keeper of the peace in Flamesgrace. Unfortunately, his job often makes him the target of resentment, so he drowns his sorrows in liquor under the guise of keeping warm, while also wearing a heavy coat. Tavern patron, age 31. One of the soldiers who brought down the Frostwolf, a beast which once terrorized the Frostlands. The battle is won with the help of a hunter and his direwolf. The duo are still lauded for their aid to this day. I love me some good old-fashioned lore. 60%. Oh, 2 more times and my reputation will suffer. Question is the RNG hard-coded?
Agreed.
And it worked. Knight Ardante. From a young age, she dreamed of joining the Knights Ardante. Achieving knighthood, however, left her without any other passions in life. Her expression is now as cold as ice, though a fire still burns in her eyes during the heat of battle. Most intriguing indeed. Add a wart. It worked. Let's see, age 32. A former mercenary who enjoys telling tales of his heroism on the battlefield. Those around him eagerly listen to his passionately recounted stories, despite knowing most are untrue. %. 50% as well. I'm just gonna go find this and pick it up. Looks like it's in the building. It is not in the building. Ah. Well, I guess we'll find out how much it costs to revoke the bad reputation. Oh, that worked. Townsperson, age 24. A woman who has been living with a wandering mercenary for about a year. She has lost countless hours of sleep, keeping a vigilant eye on him, fearing he'll disappear the moment she looks away. In the snow. Seed. Be gone, you foul being. For whatever reason, it would seem the people here care not to converse with me further. So yeah, it just ruins everything, and then you have to pay the barkeep. Wow! That's a lot of money. Got it, so save. Well, anyway, we do need to talk to the guards over here. If they'll even listen to us.
My turn now.
I'm gonna take a wild guess.
Interesting dilemma.
Oh, flames! Rain!
Yep.
Now, what next? So much to learn.
Well then.
Thankier than I remember.
Now, what next?
Now the turn!
My turn. My turn. Yeah.
It'd be nice if there was a way to delay the turn. Oh, there's a miss. So yeah, that is darkness.
Flame guides us true.
Probably all it does is provide a chance to miss your attacks instead of always hitting. Maybe a 50 or so % chance.
Flame, protect us. I'll not be defeated. Yeah.
Now.
Fireball. Nice.
Not bad. A passing grade.
Oh, these guys are counted. No. Although I guess they apparently cannot be conversed with. They can't be scrutinized, I mean. Damn it. Alright. Let's head to, find, the letter T. So it seems like Ophelia should be the, person that you go to. Because you'll go in a circle and it spells Octopath out for you. At least the inn here is free. Where's the inn again? Oh yeah, that's the inn. No, it's not free anymore. Is it like a random discount, or is it like it keeps increasing? Nope. It was just free for free the first time. Well, we need 5,000 gold in order to clear our reputation. Let's head south while beating up everything for money.
I will battle.
Ribbit.
I'll do my best. Oh, sacred light.
Thus ends your lesson.
Let's see. Anything new for this? Ah, you can actually learn something new. Oh. Deal damage to all foes twice. That sounds fun. Let's get Lightning Blast. And we have Evasive Maneuvers as a support skill. Reduces the rate of random encounters. Equipping the skill with multiple characters will have no added effect. We don't need... Oops. I want to remove that. We don't want to reduce the encounter rate because we need the stuff. Plus? Okay, it's the plus button. I thought it was like directional pad? How do I press down the directional pad? There's no directional pad. It's like 4 buttons. Stupid and confused.
Flame, protect us! My turn now. May the sacred flame shine forth!
What is the logical...
Oh, ice! Pierce them through!
Thus ends your lesson.
Give me valuable items, please. North Rippletide Coast, danger level 4. Fortifying nut. Some good nut. Yes. Of course.
I will battle.
Cool enemies.
An interesting duck.
I just love the Final Fantasy VI art style for monsters.
I will not be defeated.
Well, I guess it technically counts for like I guess it'll be like Final Fantasy 4 through 6. And this basically just catches that perfectly in a slightly animated style, and I love it. Whack? Nope. Sword.
I'll not be defeated.
I might not be vulnerable, but I still deal some damage. Oh.
My turn now.
Whack. Alright. That'll do it.
Should have studied harder.
Gold gain rate is pretty slow, isn't it? Box.
I've done my research on you.
Well then.
Now.
Lightning blast.
Nothing will quiet the storm.
Nice.
Thus ends your lesson.
Got a healing grape out of that too.
Can't we settle this like gentlemen?
Is it only these enemies in this place?
Thus ends your lesson.
Olive of Life. Danger level 45. That doesn't seem like a very good idea.
Time to teach you a lesson. And
nothing will quiet the storm.
And now Cyrus is out of SP.
Studied harder.
There is no choice.
What?
It's gonna end up the same way. Maybe show me a new enemy?
Thus ends your lesson.
Really? Just a dead end. See that box there? I need to get the box.
Can't we settle this?
Oh,
like
new
gentlemen?
enemies.
Now, what next? So much to learn.
Well then.
Ooh, raises defenses? Not vulnerable. Kills a crit though.
My turn now.
Not vulnerable.
So much to learn.
Spear and ice.
Now, what next? So much to learn.
My turn. Prepare yourself.
Show us what you can do. Flambe. Burn him alive. Oh, wow. That was surprisingly strong.
I've done my research on you.
My turn now. Huh? Yeah.
An interesting... You should have studied harder.
Okay, domination is turn 1. A turn 1 kill. We went back all that way for a single healing grape.
I will battle.
Oh, hello.
An interesting...
Nothing will quiet the storm.
Not bad. A passing grade.
40 SP, it only gets you so much.
I've done my research on you. What is that?
Nothing will quiet the storm.
You should have studied harder.
He's just about to get a level up. So very close.
I will battle.
Oh, that's a new enemy.
What is the logical course of action? So much to learn. Whoops!
My turn now.
Sea Birdian?
My turn now.
Yeah, Sea Birdian.
So much to learn.
Now I'm gonna take a wild shot in the dark here.
Now the true lesson begins. Oh, flames, rage strong.
Thus ends your lesson.
Bam, level up. Very nice. We aren't in town yet?
Can't we settle this like gentlemen?
Yep.
What is the
Nothing will quiet the storm.
Oh, they die from that anyway.
You
it's just that strong.
Studied harder.
Coastlands, Rippletide.
Hello.
Rippletide isn't the largest port in the realm, but it sure is lively. 40%? Why is it so low?
Hey there!
Welcome one and all to the Colzion Family Provisioners. If we don't have it, no one does.
Hello.
Welcome. If there's something you're looking for, just say the word. Is it just low because we haven't done the quest yet? Sounds like whoever's gonna be, here is gonna have a spear. Let's see. Merchant, age 30. A merchant of unknown origins, involved in a mysterious trade. The goods he sells and how he obtains them are also a secret. Most intriguing.
Hello.
How's business? Let's see, age 28. A merchant hailing from the Highlands who carries only the best and most distinguished liqueurs. The tavern in Sunshade is one of his most loyal clients. He knows everything but the taste of his merchandise, as he doesn't drink any himself. We get ourselves a item. Also, there's a box there. Nobody here is special. Characters not in your party who have not completed a previous chapter of their tale. Another box. Why are they leaving boxes lying around?
Greetings
I'm
to
a
ye.
fruit connoisseur myself. I love that sweet and sour taste. Seriously, 50% chances for some of these? Hurts my soul. I wonder how long it'll take to save scum this. It worked. Smarter bartering. A young man who resides in Rippletide with his grandmother. Though he lacks her prowess in trade, he still has an ability of his own, getting others to open their hearts to him. Smarter bartering get. Better chance getting a discount when you purchase items with a capital P. Oh my god, it worked on first try. Age 24. Until a few years ago, this man was an infamous criminal across the continent. But while planning a robbery in Rippletide, he got to know the town and its people, and decided to leave his unscrupulous past behind. Though living an honest life now, his knowledge of the citizens, both the good and the bad, stays with him. I'll see you in a sec. We need to talk with the big boss man. Oh my god, it worked first try again. Tressa's father, an owner of the Colzione family provisioners, he met with his wife roaming the realm as a traveling merchant. He longed to have his own shop in his hometown of Rippletide, and in the same year his dear daughter was born, he made that dream come true. His age is a very special number at 42. Oh, a box. Bottle of poison what now? Bottle of poison dust. Inflicts poison on a single foe with a given probability. Okay. Sounds alright. Mine. Mine.
Hello there.
The caves to Maya are just west of here. Take caution. They say there are pirates hiding out in the cave. And monsters, of course. Age 58. The widow of a fisherman in Rippletide. Since her husband's passing several years ago, she had relied solely on her own fishing skills to make a living. She keeps her late husband's harpoon as a memento, unable to bring herself to throw it away. Alright, we have our next character in town, but it's pretty late, so I am going to call it a night, and we can continue Octopath Traveler next time. Have a good night, and if anyone's actually there, thanks for sticking around.